In this video today, we're going to talk about the brutal truth about e-commerce platform migration in 2025. Now, this might be a very boring topic for a lot of people, but if your primary business is e-commerce and you make millions of dollars in annual revenue from e-commerce, listen up. When it comes to platform migration, unfortunately, most businesses do it wrong. You see, your e-commerce platform is the heart of your business. If you can't get your platform right, everything else might break. It literally makes the difference between you making millions of dollars or making hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if your e-commerce platform is outdated and slow, it's not just an inconvenience, it's a ticking time bomb. Every second of lag, every limiting functionality, everything will affect your scalability and your growth. And here is the brutal truth. Platform migrations are not optional for certain types of businesses. If you're on an outdated platform, or if you think that you're on the right platform but you cannot scale, platform migration might be the only solution that you have to actually get to a point where you can make those multi-million-dollar revenue. So in this video, I am going to break all of this down for you. When you must migrate and the warning signs that you cannot ignore, which platform is right for your business and what most agencies will not actually tell you, how to migrate without losing sales, conversions, rankings, and traffic, and the number one mistake that kills e-commerce businesses during a migration project. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to do this move the right way before your competitors. So let's dive in. Choosing the right platform. This is where actually most e-commerce businesses just screw up. They do not think long-term when choosing a platform. I recently had a client come to me and tell me that he would like to migrate from Shopify to WooCommerce. I am scratching my head. This client does millions of dollars. Why would you want to do that? And the problem is not actually the client. The problem is the technical lead there who thinks that Shopify is the wrong platform because he wants to customize some products in the backend and he wants to do his own way of importing into the platform. So the tech lead wants to change the entire platform and convince the business owner to do this because of one minor task. This is the kind of bullshit that we deal with, and it's just insanity because to be able to get one small functionality, you're literally jeopardizing millions of dollars in revenue, millions of dollars in profits. Does that make sense to you? But this shit happens all the time. They either pick the wrong platform where they cannot scale on, or they have not scoped out their requirements and what they actually need to operate in a very, very efficient manner, so they pick the wrong platform. They focus on micro functionalities instead of focusing on macro features that are going to actually help them grow. They go with the cheapest option, who tries to save money on the platform when you're doing millions of dollars in revenue, or they trust an inexperienced developer's guidance blindly. There are a lot of people out there, there are a lot of e-commerce experts that will bill you half the hourly rate that you should be paying, and they will lead you in the wrong direction, and you're going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. You're going to lose hundreds, if not millions of dollars to recorrect your path in terms of e-commerce scalability. So do not make these mistakes. Listen up. Here are the platforms that majority of the time you should consider. And the only exception to these platforms is if you have a very, very custom checkout process, if you have an incredibly custom product, or if you're only selling just a few products. But there are a lot of details here, so let's do this carefully. 1, Shopify Plus. I think that Shopify Plus is the best high growth option for a lot of the brands out there, regardless of you being B2B or B2C. The reason is speed, scalability, and automation. Shopify Plus has a very robust app infrastructure. They have a very robust template infrastructure so that you can do whatever it is that you want on Shopify Plus. 2 is BigCommerce. It's a very good mid-market option because of the fact that infrastructure, app structure, template structure is very much like Shopify. BigCommerce has a very, very robust API. You can do 99% of the things that you could do on Shopify, also on BigCommerce. The third one is Adobe Commerce Cloud. They were Magento and they were bought out by Adobe. If your business has always been on the Magento infrastructure and you have built it out and you went from Magento, Magento 1, Magento 2, or maybe you were on Magento Enterprise, it might make sense, depending on all the customizations that you have built, to be on Adobe Commerce Cloud, if that is the case. But majority of the time, what we have done, and again, this is our experience, we've done thousands of migrations, we have migrated majority of those Magento customers, ex-Magento customers, to Shopify. The reason being is you can scale a lot more efficiently on a cloud-based system. And remember, Magento was server-based. It wasn't really cloud-based. WooCommerce was not really cloud-based. There's a reason why Shopify got very popular. There's a reason why BigCommerce got very popular, because you could scale with this technology infrastructure and you didn't have to worry about upgrading every single time, right? It's cloud-based, so you click a button and you upgrade. The fourth one is custom headless solutions. There are certain reasons why you might need a headless e-commerce infrastructure. Headless implementations are very flexible, very robust, incredibly fast, probably some of the fastest websites that you will experience. And you have the potential to separate your backend from your front end. And of course, you might be fearful of doing this platform migration, but a lot of the time, a lot of people only discuss the negative sides or the negative impacts of migration. Well, there's a bunch of positive impacts of a platform migration. This is not really about fixing issues and problems on your existing platform. This is more about creating more opportunities. If you focus on this from a standpoint of saving your business, you're not going to make the right decision. You have to think about what possibilities will this platform migration enable for me. And then we can talk about all of that. I already mentioned it. Faster load times, higher conversion rates, right? If you have the right platform, you can optimize your checkout. You can put trust building elements on your checkout and basically adjust your checkout in a manner where you can increase your conversion rates by 20, 30, 40, 50%. You can have stronger security, compliance. You can solve all of those compliance issues. A lot of businesses deal with this. And if you are on a cloud-based system that's built on $1 billion infrastructure, you don't have to worry about all those issues. A lot of these larger platforms now have AI capabilities and seamless integration, very robust API integration. So you don't really have to rebuild the technology. Remember, you're just renting the technology from somebody else. We don't live in the 80s and 90s, guys. You don't have to own your own e-commerce platform and server. You can rent it. And then the last but not least, you have better SEO, better marketing capabilities. You have better content management systems. You have a better Google Shopping feed, any kind of paid search feed, any kind of pixel integrations. This all helps with what you're trying to do with your e-commerce business, which is be as visible as possible and convert as fast as possible and make sure that your customers comes back to your site to purchase again as often as possible. So don't look at platform migration as just an upgrade to your current site. Think about it as a weapon for business growth. And with that, we come to the last part. The number one mistake that people make that kills their platform migration, and most of the time, their business. They do not scope out and really plan their migration process, where they miss a lot of the functionalities that would actually increase their conversion rates, and they miss the SEO. They lose their rankings. And that's because they didn't really think about the infrastructure of what's going to happen during this migration process. You can't import tens of thousands of data. This needs to be done through API. It needs to be validated. Did you check all of your product pages? Did you check all your category pages? Did you check to see what are your highest converting categories and products? Did you check the different functionalities? Do you have search and filter functionality? Is it AI driven? Do you have pre-checkout, post-checkout upsell functionalities? Do you have sticky header, sticky add to cart, sticky checkout? Do you have trust building elements on your checkout? This has to be all reviewed. We have a checklist of literally 500 something items that we need to look at while we are planning this platform migration process. At Optimum 7, we have handled thousands of platform migrations in the past 15 years without losing rankings, without losing revenue, and without losing customers. Here is how we do it. We pre-map your SEO infrastructure and keyword universe. We have to simply make sure we know where you make money. If we don't know where you make money, which are the most important product pages, category pages, content pages, blog pages, conversion pages, contact us pages, quote pages, we can't do this migration. So if your agency is not asking you these questions, run. We work with a test sandbox server, and everything that we work on that test server, and we send it to you for reviews and approvals, and everything is ready to go. We basically switch your name servers or your DNS settings, and the new website is up. Again, without losing customers, without losing orders. And then this part is very important. We do post-migration audits. Our QA engineers review everything, and we make sure that everything is operating in the right manner. You're not getting any 404s. You don't have a decrease in conversions. All of your pages are indexed. All of your rankings remain. The performance, the speed, the compliance issues are all there. This has to be done. A lot of agencies do not do this. They just launch the site and they disappear. Our job is done. That won't work. This is why you can't do this with a freelancer. In our team, we have a business analyst that plans all of this out from the beginning, from day one. Then we have front-end and back-end engineers who are actually going to do the coding. We have graphics and UI UX engineers who's going to do the design for conversion optimization purposes. Then we have project managers and project directors to make sure things move in the right manner. Then we have QA engineers who check everything to make sure that everything is done. And on top of all of this, you also have to work with a PPC expert, SEO expert, and a marketing director to make sure everything comes together. The result should be a high-performing, scalable e-commerce infrastructure that allows you to move as a small business so you can compete with giants like Amazon and eBay. Listen, your platform is either helping you scale or it's holding you back. There is really no in between. The worst thing that you can do is ignore the problem until it might be too late. If you think that you need a platform migration or there's a better platform out there for you, we should talk. Contact us or comment below and we'll be happy to guide you in the right direction.